Knicks guard Evan Fournier may finally be on the way out. Mike Scotto came out with an article today suggesting that the Phoenix Suns, New York Knicks, and Indiana Pacers are involved in a 3-team deal that will possibly send Cam Payne to New York, Evan Fournier to Indiana, and TJ McConnell going to the Phoenix Suns. Now, the Knicks signed Evan Fournier a couple of years ago, and it just hasn't worked out for them. After starting the first 7 games of this season, we tried to work it out. We tried to bring him off the bench. It just didn't work out. He lost a step on the defensive end. Still a great shooter. Evan Fournier is due to make $18.5 million, and then he has a team option for 2024-2025, which will definitely get declined by whoever team he is on. Now, like I just said, back in November when he was out of the Knicks rotation, he was nothing but a professional about it. He wasn't at the end of the bench pouting. He was on the bench cheering his teammates and simply a professional in the media. I can't say more great things about Evan Fournier. Could we have used him versus the Miami Heat? I would have liked to seen Fournier in there and a Derrick Rose in there. But hey, we can't go back to the past. It is what it is. The New York Knicks, after signing Dante DiVincenzo, obviously we used to have Fournier, Grimes, IQ. We have a bunch of guards. The Knicks are trying to get off this contract, but they don't want to just trade this contract just to trade it. They value the $18.5 million that he is owed. They don't value that, he's actually getting that money, but they value that it's not just a throw-in contract. You can use this in a big trade. For instance, if this trade was to go through, this will open up an $18 million trade exception for the New York Knicks, and it just happens that OG Anunoby gets paid $18 million. Something to keep an eye on. Mike Scotto said the 3 teams stalled the talks. It's interesting to see whether or not they pick it back up, because that would be intriguing. Bringing in Cam Payne. Obviously, the Knicks won't play Cam Payne. Like I just stated, we have a bunch of guards, but opening up that trade exception is very, very huge, very key. You can obviously absorb a large contract in a trade. And obviously, like I just stated, OG Anunoby is a name that has been linked to the New York Knicks. Just left Clutch Sports, just signed with CAA. I'm just trying to connect the dots here, but it seems like the Evan Fournier rumors are starting to heat up. It seems like we're starting to gain traction. After the Game 6 loss versus Miami Heat, Evan Fournier clearly stated that he is going to get traded. He said, in quotes, "This is officially the end, but my season was over a long time ago." And then he went on to say, "It took me a good month to understand that. At first, I was just being patient and seeing how the team developed. Obviously, there are going to be changes and I'm going to get traded." When he said that, it was pretty eye-opening. He pretty much knew that his time in New York is over. He pretty much knew that the New York Knicks were exploring a trade, or went to his agent and said, "Get me out of here because I want to at least play or go somewhere where I can hopefully get some playing time." But it just stinks. When the contract was signed, I always remember the first game, Evan Fournier versus Boston Celtics, where he just simply went bananas. And the Knicks won that game in overtime, and Evan Fournier was a big part of that game, and that was the start of a new season, and everyone was excited as heck. And we were like, wow, we finally got a shooting guard up in here. But then this season, like I just stated, Evan Fournier's defensive abilities has simply been hampered, and he was letting defenders blow by him, and his defense took a massive step back, which is why Tom Thibodeau took him out the rotation, shrunk the rotation, and ultimately it saved our season. There were reports that Tom Thibodeau was on the hot seat, and if he didn't do that, he would have been fired. So it's going to be interesting where Evan Fournier goes. Pacers, there's been rumors about him going to San Antonio Spurs. It'll be cool to see him with Victor Wembanyama being a mentor towards him. The rumor around that has been the Knicks receiving Doug McDermott and the Knicks trading away Evan Fournier, but the San Antonio Spurs just acquired Reggie Bullock, so that seems to be bleak. The summer is still extremely young, and I do think that he will ultimately be traded. If it's to Indiana, opening up that trade exception, which will be huge for the New York Knicks, we'll just have to wait and see. I'm Anthony from Knicks Nation. If you want to keep up to date with the latest Knicks news, subscribe to the channel, hit that thumbs up button. I'll be here all summer giving you guys some Knicks news. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I'll catch y'all next time. Peace.